I should have done this a long time ago. I should have done it a long time ago. I guess I'm a person that procrastinates sometimes, also overthinks. You know, you want things to be done in the right way, or you wonder, oh, could this have been different? Could that have been done better? Perfect timing. Also, I don't know, I don't really feel like I'm really good on camera, which is ironic because off of camera I really kind of almost brag about how I have too much personality, and I always have something to say. But I'm here now doing this. Right now I'm on a walk of where I live at, here in Merida, Mexico. I live in a very warm, beautiful place, walking through the park in my neighborhood, hoping to actually capture some of its beauty. And this is another reason why I didn't really, I guess, post, is because, speaking of timing, sometimes it never seems to be the right time. Sometimes walking, even without a camera, people will just stop and kind of stare. And I guess I just, granted that I have a lot of personality, I don't really want all of that attention on me, but I didn't want to be one of those people walking down the street talking into a camera. And it's not that I judge people that do that. It's just that sometimes I've noticed on many YouTube videos that I watch, that kind of invites people to come over and just kind of stare at you and talk to you. And sometimes I don't really feel like that, especially today. So I decided just to take my camera out and go for a walk, because, as I said, I've been wanting to do this for a while. I mentioned that I live in Merida, Mexico. Been here for about a year and almost 6 months. I really want to take a video of this. They have these really pretty berries. I don't know what these are. I think these are just berries. Wow, look how they grow. That's beautiful. Hope this is getting all of that. It's pretty. Anyway, I've been here for about a year and 6 months. Always wanted to do kind of a YouTube channel, YouTube video type of thing. And been here a year and 6 months. And, I feel like there's a lot to share. One of the things that I love, that I actually get to see often, is it's always nice to see how people are living. I didn't want to be white noise. But something that I've learned and that I've seen is that there are many different perspectives of the world, and many of us are living. There's many people that are living in Merida now, and I suppose, and I'm predicting that there's going to be many more that are coming. But I feel that we all have something to share, and I guess, quite honestly, I wanted to be a part of that. There's so many things here that are beautiful, that I love, that I really want to share. It's really beautiful to live in this part of Mexico. So I don't live in a central, very touristy area. I actually live in an area that's near, I live in the southwest part of Merida, Mexico. Look at that big pit bull. Look how handsome. He has a human. His person's right there. Really pretty dog. Hola, buenos dias. Yes, I live in the southwest part, and it's actually very beautiful over here, but it's so far away from for the touristy areas. You know, over here I have to, you know, really work on my Spanish, really work on, I have to speak Spanish. I have to kind of know exactly where I'm at and what's going on. So totally, you know, you get a real feel that you're living in another country here. And that's one of the reasons I like it. I can't really rely on everything that I'm used to doing on this part. I have to kind of be open, which to me is one of the best reasons, or one of the main reasons, to live in another country. I moved here in October of 2023. I have a lot of reasons why I decided to move, but mainly one of the things is that I wanted a different quality of life and a different type of life. I saw the signs of where the U.S. was heading, and I really honestly didn't want to be a part of that anymore. So I made a plan, probably in 2019, 2020, and with time started executing that plan. And now that I'm here, you know, I find myself living in a different way, doing different things, and it's actually something that's actually quite, I don't even know the word, invigorating, enlivening, I can't even speak English, something that's enriching, maybe. There's something quite beautiful about living in a different country. And I've had so many experiences here. One of the things that I'm going to be doing soon, that I also wanted to share, is I'm going to be starting a yoga teacher training. I'm not going to be giving a yoga teacher training. I'm going to be starting a yoga teacher training. That's one of the many things that I've actually really started doing and have come to love very much, is doing yoga. You know, I'm sure that there's many people that can probably understand or feel this, but you know, I felt in the U.S. there's something really strongly that needs to heal from that way of life, from being a part of such a force of a system. There's people. I'm on a bike path. I hear people. You know, one of the things that I do here among my experiences really has been a need to heal, to reset, and revitalize myself, I suppose, for lack of a better word, I guess, to kind of restructure myself. And yoga has really been a part of that. So I'm going to be doing a yoga teacher training. I had been wanting to do this for a long time, but I really, I just was waiting for the right moment. It was one of the ideas that I floated when I was making the decision to leave the U.S. I was like, well, maybe I could do teacher training. Currently, right now, my job, I teach English online. I teach English. I wake up at maybe about 4:45 or 5 a.m. I have classes from about 6 a.m. until sometimes 9 a.m. And then I have time off, which is why I'm walking around midday in the Yucatan sun. I have time from about 9 or 10 a.m. till about 4 p.m. and then I'll have another class, maybe another 2 or 3, sometimes 4 classes. And I usually end my classes by 8 or 9 p.m. But I have a lot of middle time. Sometimes I'll take a yoga class. I go to 2 yoga schools. One of my yoga schools is called Ajna. It's kind of close to my house a little bit. It's completely in Spanish, which has been a really good experience. It's a really great place. I love Ajna. Second yoga school is Om, Casa de Om, which is where I'm going to be doing my yoga teacher training. And as I was saying, one of the reasons that I had been wanting to do a yoga teacher training for a very long time, but I just was waiting for the right situation or the right thing to come up. I was considering, when I left the US, I thought, oh, well, maybe I can do this since I do teach English. But, it's something else that came up, because right before I left the US, I had been working in an office. I guess all my life, but, I started feeling it in my body. The pain, my sciatica, my back, my head, my arms, my whole body was really in pain. And sometimes, I guess even my joints, and I was 38, 39, 40, almost 40 at the time. And even though I was 40, I was like, I feel like I'm too young to feel like this, but I guess it's all connected to that lifestyle. Not only does our body need to move, but our energy needs to move, I'm learning. And again, it's not just about your body sitting still. Your energy sometimes can become stagnant. And I believe that's what happened to me over time, but I really felt that stagnation at the end, or the middle of the end of me beginning to leave to go to Mexico. And I started feeling it in my body. I was doing yoga there in the US, in Philadelphia, at a cute little place called Banyan, because I'm from Philadelphia. And I had begun doing it, but some things released from my body and everything like that, emotions and pain, and my body no longer feels like it's inflamed. My body doesn't feel that anymore. So I floated that idea of a yoga teacher training there, but we're talking like $3,000 or $4,000 for a yoga teacher training for about 4 or 5 months. And not only was I not paying that, because I think that was ridiculous, the thing is that it's like, well, God, I'm trying to leave the country. I can't pay that, even if I was feeling brave, because I probably would have done it, even though I think it's a crazy price. Let me walk down here. And I think it's a crazy price. So I floated that, but the situation again wasn't right. Gave it time. Been here. I had been here probably about 4 months. Scared, but didn't know I was scared. Unsure, didn't know I was unsure. Started taking yoga classes. I loved it so much in Philly at Ajna. And man, I just, it really awoke something in me. I cannot speak English. Really woke something up in me. And I went from taking it 2 days a week to 3 days a week to 5 days a week to now it's almost all I think of. Almost, and it's something that's become very special to me, not just because, I learned to do a headstand, and not just because, I kind of have good balance and I can do some of those crazy things, not all of them, but some of those crazy things I used to see, but mostly because there's healing in these poses, and there's healing in this type of work, because it's more than just about the crazy human pretzel stuff. It's somatics. It's somatic healing, being able to move your body and be connected to your body, connected to your breath, connected to your soul, feeling what's going on in your body. And when you feel what's going on in your body, and when you're connected to your own energy, you can be connected to the energy of everything around you. Which way should I go? You can be connected to everything around you. You can be connected to people around you, to the energy around you. And you can also decide to not be connected, which I think is as equally as important as deciding to be connected. You also know what you don't want to be connected to. You also know what you don't want to touch with a 20-foot pole. And I know that's something that I was missing in my life, or where I was falling short. Because I wasn't in tune with those emotions and those feelings, or I was, and I just ignore it, and that caused a whole bunch of problems. Anywho, so when this opportunity came up to take the yoga teacher training, I wanted to do it while I was here. The prices are actually much better here, but they're all in Spanish. And sí es la verdad que yo puedo hablar en español, pero a veces yo no puedo entender cosas muy inteligente. Even though I can speak Spanish, I can't really understand intelligent, philosophical, smart stuff in English. I mean Spanish. In Spanish. I can't in Spanish. You should see me sometimes in my yoga class at Ashna. One of my teachers will talk to me and I'll look at him like, what did you say? I can understand him. Or he'll ask me something. One time he asked me, he said, Tammy, it was the equivalent of, Tammy, how do you find yourself? And I thought he asked me something else and I responded another way. And he was like, no, Tammy. But he repeated himself. And that's why I really appreciate that. So he repeated himself. I was like, oh, I'm good. Oh, estoy bien, gracias. So I didn't want to miss out on the philosophy and the depth of really understanding yoga, understanding what's going on in your body and how it's not just connected to yourself, but the culture and all those other good things that come. So, I waited. Then a few months went by and someone told me about something and I found out that there was someone coming from Philadelphia who had been going back and forth here. He's a big name, which is really funny because he's really humble. And I actually don't want to say his name here because I don't like to drop names. But, I'll go up there. Obviously, I'll be posting it. But I decided to wait on that. Where do I go? Did I just turn around? I decided to wait on that. And, I contacted him. And, we had been going back and forth. And then the yoga studio, I think it's taking off now. I think he's been going back and forth, but I think now it's taking off. It's an odd angle. Hope I don't look funny. Oh well. And it's taking off, so I decided to go for it. And it's in English. These people are from Philadelphia. He's from Philadelphia. Not that matters, because I'm from Philadelphia, but it helps. Because, as he says, he's like, well, we're from Philly. We're your people, of course. I love living here in Mexico. I love being able to speak Spanish. I love being able to understand culture. I don't want to change that here. But it does, when I have the opportunity to see Americans and speak English, I take it. Mostly because I've discovered that a lot of Americans are different here. It's a beautiful little thing that is going on here. I feel like I've had to leave the U.S. in order to be able to come to another country and meet absolutely beautiful people from my own country or from the country that I was born and raised in, which is something that's funny because in the U.S. I wasn't able to, I always kind of felt like, why am I here? I don't belong here. I've always felt like, well, I was beginning to feel like I was kind of in pants that didn't fit right. How sometimes you'll be in those pants and I don't know, you put them on and you're like, oh God, like this isn't covering stuff the way it used to, or these don't give. These don't shape me out. They don't fit well. They're not flattering. They don't compliment me in any way. And to me, that was what it started being like in the U.S. Misalignment. I don't claim to be perfect at all. I don't claim to be perfect at all. But I do know when there are things that are misaligned in my life and a country is going in a way that I'm not interested in going anymore. Anyway. So that's part of what I'm doing here. I'm really excited about, and I'm really excited about sharing, is this yoga teacher training. this yoga school I'm going to be going to. Well, I've already taken a few classes. Casa de Om. It's in una fraccionamiento llamada. It's in a frac called Las Americas. Las Americas. It's at the way north, outside of Perry, outside of the Periférico. And I'm going to be going there. If I get enough, I guess, courage, I'll also record some of the things I do at Ajna, even though I don't like to do that there sometimes because I don't want all that attention. It's our yoga class. But, there are a lot of really cool things that are going on there. Again, Ajna is completely in Spanish. So it's a really cool experience. So, yeah, that's what I got on here to say. So I'm taking my walk through the park. I anticipate being able to share. I look forward to being able to share this experience, but not just, yoga, but also many things about living here. Being able to create a community is one of the things that I actually wanted to do when I moved out here. And I believe that being able to speak and show myself and show, what I'm doing and things that are going on around here is only a part of that. So I really wanted to do that. So I want to share more about living in Mexico, and also sometimes just to talk. I know before I moved out here, there were a lot of YouTube channels that I watched and really gave me a good idea about what to expect, what not to expect, and not just moving to Mexico, but moving into another country. We live in a big world. We live in a giant, big, beautiful, diverse, beautiful, perfect world. Even though things are not perfect here, our world is beautiful and it's perfect to me. So, I don't know, just to be able to speak about that experiences, living abroad, and those types of things. So that's my hope. Anyway, I'm going to continue my walk, and I hope to be able to share more of these things soon. Continue to walk through and continue to share more about this beautiful area that I'm living in.